Hello, kindergarten. I hope you're all doing well. It's been a while since we've taken a look at our social or COVID booklet, and as we are nearing the end of the booklet, we'll be taking a look at two letters. Okay, so today you will have a chance to write a letter, to your future self. And what Miss Salvador means by this is, do you remember in our first lesson where I mentioned something about a time capsule? And I mentioned that you can keep this very booklet in a safe place, and when you're older, you can take a look at what you've written. Well, today you will be writing a letter to the future you, so that when you're much, much older, you can take a look at it and say, oh my goodness, this is what happened during this time, and this is what I did. So this letter takes a good look at an important event that happened when you were very young. Okay, so if you have your COVID booklet out, I would like you to turn to the same page that I have on the screen here. And this page, if I read the big words at the top, it says letter to myself. So like I mentioned, today you will be writing a few sentences to your future self, where I will give you some ideas of what to write. If I take a look at my next page here, there are three things that we have to write down. Okay, so I would like you to take a pencil, make sure you have a pencil out, and I would like you to write it down with me. I'm going to write it down in blue, just so you guys can see it a little bit easier. But the first thing you want to make sure you have in your letter is the date. Okay, and the date, we're going to put it at the very top line here underneath the word myself. So almost every letter in the world has a date to remind us when exactly a letter was written. So let's write the date together. Today's date is June 12, 2020. So I'm sure most of you guys know how to spell June. Don't forget a capital J because it starts with a month. June 12, comma, 2020. And I encourage you not to forget the year because that's pretty important. So make sure you have 2020 as the year. Okay? The next thing we want to write is our name in two spots. So like I mentioned, this is a letter to our future self. So right over here, it says dear. Okay, if you look at the screen where my pointer is, it says D-ear. Okay, so dear, and then you would write your name. So if I was in kindergarten, I would write my name. So after the word dear, I would write dear Miss Salvador. So you're not going to write Miss Salvador down, kindergarten. You're going to write your name, okay? Dear Miss Salvador, because I'm writing to my future self. Okay, so I want you to make sure that you have your name written there. And I also want you to make sure that you have your name written down at the bottom where it says love. This is the last line on the page. Love. And you're also going to put your name. Because like I said, this is a letter for you, by you. Okay? It's a little strange how that works, but when you look at it later on, it'll be really interesting to read. So after the word love, kindergarten, you're also going to write your name. Okay? So I'm going to write Miss Salvador. All right, so here comes the fun part. I would like you, kindergarten, to write at least 5 sentences in your letter, okay? You've done quite a bit of journaling during this online learning time, so I'm sure you can write 5 sentences. I'll give you some ideas of what to write for each sentence here, okay? So I've numbered off my little letter, and I've given some examples of what I might write if Miss Salvador was in kindergarten. So number 1, it says you might want to write down what grade you are in, okay? So you could say today, or I am in kindergarten currently, okay? Another sentence you might write is, if we move on to number 2, what is happening? So kindergarten, you can mention everything that's happened, that we've had to stay home for quite some time. We've had to go and we've had to do some online learning because it's not really safe for everyone to be at school. And you can mention, okay, what do we do with online learning? Oh, we watch videos on spelling, we do some worksheets still, and things like that. So you could explain a little bit of online learning and what has happened in the past couple of months. Okay, another suggestion is number 3. You could write this for your third sentence, is what you have been doing at home. So what's your favorite thing to do at home that you couldn't really do before? Okay, so is it because, I know for me, for example, I've been doing a lot more baking at home, and I'm sure most families have been doing a lot of baking, but we've been doing a lot of baking at home, and usually when I would be at work, or usually when things were normal, I didn't have a lot of time for baking. I would only usually just bake in the holidays like Christmas or Easter and things like that. But now that we've gotten a bit more time at home, I've gotten to make some new things like macaroons and cupcakes, and banana bread is the biggest one. So you can also list what you've been doing at home during this time. Okay, number 4, here's another sentence that you can write, is what you miss doing. Okay, so because we've spent a lot of time at home and because of a lot of places have been shut down, what did you miss doing outside of your home? Did you miss going to swimming lessons at the rec center? Did you miss going to the park in your neighborhood? Did you miss eating out at a restaurant? I know that one of the big things that I miss is being able to eat dinner with my friends. So I really miss eating out at restaurants, but hopefully we can do that soon. So you can list down what you miss doing. And then the 5th one is your last sentence is kind of just to wrap everything up together, okay? So you can just list one sentence that can easily say, I hope you can read this in the future, or I hope everyone stays safe, things like that. So I would like you to write 5 sentences about what's been going on, what you've been doing, what you've been missing, what grade you're in, and things like that. And then once you are done kindergarten, let an adult or an older sibling please take a picture and send it to us through email or through Class Dojo. Okay, we will be taking this in for marks, so please try to do your very best work and your very best printing as you can. Okay, I hope that offers some ideas and that kind of gets your sentences up and running. If you have any questions, of course, please feel free to message us, but we look forward to reading your letters soon. Have fun with this kindergarten and good luck.